What's going on, you Braapaholics? Alright, today we have a windshield installation / review video. So here it is, kind of right in the packaging. So this windshield is by A&U TV Pro. I've done some of the other products in the past. These so when I review these types of products, I compare them to just mid-grade to low-end quality stuff, just because they're just a new, cheaper alternative. Which means that the quality is probably the same way. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's always bad. Some of the stuff like windshields or roofs or something, I mean, they probably do their purpose. I guess it all depends on what you're looking for in a product. So this is a windshield, the plastic polycarbonate windshield. So this one's gonna fit the XP models. So this will fit 2019 to 2022, just because, yeah, the roll cage should be the same, but the dash is different. So this forms around the dash, so that's why it won't fit the older models. So they're saying this is stronger than glass on their site. Right now it's at $170. It was $179, so right now it's 6% off. So it's gonna have 2 vents on the bottom, which is nice. That helps. If you don't have some air through your windshields, you can sometimes get a swirling effect going on if you were not to have air vents. So that helps with that. Another thing we have noticed in the past is that if you have a rear windshield on the RZRs, that can also do the same concept, but we'll get to that later. This comes to personal preference. In my opinion, in the past, and we're gonna see how this goes. But plastic or these polycarbonate windshields, yeah, they do a good job. I mean, they're gonna do their job. But the problem is that eventually they start getting foggy or scratched. And another thing we have noticed, because Brock's got a Polaris polycarbonate windshield, and he's actually enjoying it. The problem is that when it gets dusty out, these can get staticky, and rather than the dust going over the windshield, it actually collects on the windshield, especially after it gets wet and stuff. They get staticky, so that's just a little bit of one downside about that. We've noticed, and I don't know how true this is, but I've heard people not putting, if you want to clean this off, I've heard people say not to use Windex because the chemical can fog it over. So I don't know how true that is. I haven't seen any issues. Maybe that was the truth on the older stuff. Now, I personally like glass just because of the static pressure, just because of the staticness that these plastic ones can get on them. Even now, it's making my hair stand up. So I just peeled off the plastic, so I made it staticky, but that static will collect dust. Especially if this thing's vibrating like this, it creates static. Now, they're saying it's going to be harder than glass. I would say it would, I mean, it's obviously bendier than glass, but harder than glass? Unbreakable? I don't know. I don't want to snap this, so I don't want to test how durable it is. So they actually gave me instructions. Now, they're pretty basic, but it's not that hard to install. So they gave you some seals to put on the top and bottom, so we'll put that on. And then there's 4 clamps. You just kind of wrap around like most windshields. And yeah, that's all there is to it. So we are heading to the Hatfield-McCoy trails here in a couple days. So we'll put us through some hardcore trail riding and see how durable it is. Tight trails, wet trails, and it's pretty technical stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Now these clamps, these are kind of different style clamp. So rather than straps, which like most of them are, this is just does that. So I'm guessing once it's on the roll cage, it'll snap in place. I mean, we'll see how that works. And that might be a lot easier. I didn't do this, but my roll cage in the rear is chopped and it's crooked, so that's why it's not 100% straight. I did not do it, but either way, this is still stock. Alright, so we just went through some brush. Now there's some scuffs here. Now the question is, are those just scuffs or are they scratches? Try to wipe them off. It's hard to see, it's still kind of there. I think rub it hard enough, it'll go away. Yep, so that's polycarbonate for you. Alright, so I can give you a better so I'm heading to, like I said, I'm trail riding in a couple of days, so I can give you guys an update on it. But so far, I mean, if you're on a budget, I mean, it'll do its job. How long it'll last, I don't know. So we'll see how long the latches last. If you guys are interested in this windshield, I have a link down below with a discount code if you guys want to get it even cheaper. So all right guys, so I've used this windshield for a good solid week now in West Virginia, so I have some more thoughts about it. Durability wise, yeah, it's seen some tough terrain. It held up just fine. It didn't vibrate or nothing, so that's good. One thing I really like is these vents. When they're open, and I wish they were actually bigger, but when they're open, these actually work good to catch the wind and shove it through. Whereas my dad has a Super ATV windshield, and he has a hard time with wind flow coming through this vent right here. So my dad really liked that on my machine. Now, as for the plastic goes, I mean, it's plastic. It's got scuff marks just from wiping off or cleaning it and stuff like that. But nothing huge, no huge gashes or nothing from trees. But that's plastic for you. It's going to do that, and probably just about all of them. Now, there's probably better plastics out there, but it held up. So we'll see how long it lasts. And it does collect dust, just like all the other plastic windshields do. They're staticky. The dust just sticks to them. So I constantly had to keep wiping the dust off of it. Whereas in the glass windshields, really wasn't a problem. This gap up here, the reason it looks like that is because there is actually supposed to be a visor on these razors. Mine is off because whoever had this before me took it off or broke it, who knows. Now here's my dad's stock 21, and this right here is the visor, so the windshield actually sticks up into that, and this visor actually takes up that space that you're seeing on mine. Now, I got it to stick on here better this time, but I was having problems with the windshield. It wants to latch on crooked. Now this is the best I've had it so far, but it's now if the visor was there, it'd probably hide that, but that was kind of the issue with it being a little crooked, but that could be just me too. Now these latches, see, so far are doing okay. I was having a problem with one of these latches. I don't remember which one. It kept wanting to pop off, but that could be because I have all these mounts here, so I'm kind of flexing it a little bit, so it's probably me. But yeah, actually it's a decent windshield for the price. So extended review